Hello, and thank you for attending today's lecture on Social Security, part of a series of lectures on the tax reform plan that will save our middle class. Social Security is currently funded by the payroll tax. Employees contribute 6.2% of their annual gross wages to the Social Security Trust Fund, and this amount is matched by their employer, and this totals 12.4%. However, this contribution stops when wages reach $106,800. So the question becomes, will the current funding of Social Security generate enough revenue to meet all of Social Security's future financial obligations? And the answer is no. The current tax obligation provides enough revenue to pay out 100% of benefits, but only until the year 2037. At that point, either the age of the recipient or the benefits, either the age of the recipient must increase or the benefits to the recipient must decrease, or both. Now, the simple solution to the future funding problem of Social Security is simply to eliminate the artificially imposed cap on income. When this occurs, both the employer and the employee will be required to pay Social Security taxes on the annual gross income, no matter how high that income may be. The elimination of this $106,800 cap will make the Social Security Trust Fund rise dramatically, and in conjunction with a benefit reduction for those who earn over $75,000 per year during their eligible retirement years, will make Social Security solvent forever. This solution will also equalize the inherently unfair application of the current Social Security tax. Since most Americans earn less than $106,800 per year, most Americans are taxed on 100% of their income. However, as incomes rise above this level, and since that additional income is not subject to the tax, in effect, it's a huge tax break for the rich. As a matter of fact, what it does is it effectively distributes wealth upwards. Let's look at a couple examples to see how this works. Assume for a moment that someone earns $50,000 per year. This $50,000 per year falls within the $106,800 cap, so it's taxed at 100%. And in this case, at 6.2%, the tax comes out to $3,100. Let's look at a person who makes the maximum where the cap is applied. That's $106,800 per year. They will pay the 6.2 Social Security tax on all $106,800, and this comes to $6,621.60. Now let's look at someone who makes $250,000 per year. This person only pays taxes on the first $106,800, and that comes to $6,621.60. This means that the next $143,200 of his $250,000 income was not subject to the tax, effectively saving this person $8,878.40. Let's look at a person who earns $500,000 per year. Again, only the first $106,800 is subject to the tax. So this person again only paid $6,621.60 to Social Security, leaving $393,200 that was not subject to tax, which means that this person saved $24,378.40. And finally, let's just look at someone who made $1 million. This person made $1 million in the year, but was only taxed on the first $106,800. Therefore, this person again only paid $6,621.60 to Social Security, leaving an astounding $893,200 that was not subject to the tax, which means that this person saved $55,378.40 in taxes. Now, the inequity of distributing wealth upwards by not paying the Social Security tax on income above $106,800 is eliminated by removing the artificially imposed cap on earnings. When the cap is removed, everyone pays their fair share of taxes, and when everyone pays their fair share of taxes, Social Security revenues rise dramatically. Social Security is arguably the government's most successful program of all time. For over 75 years, it has consistently met its financial obligations. It has administrative costs of less than 5%. In fact, it is so successful that the government borrows from the Social Security Trust Fund to pay other government programs. So we should scrutinize with great care a plan that has been bandied about to save the future of Social Security by privatizing it. Now, privatizing Social Security actually means diverting up to 4% of the workers' 6.2% payroll tax contribution to private accounts. These are private accounts in which the average person is supposed to be able to manage their account in such a way that it will bring about gains that at time of retirement will give them benefits greater than the benefits guaranteed to them from Social Security. This, of course, is nonsense. Financial planners, professional financial planners, will not give you this guarantee. So one has to wonder, how can the average person who does not have that kind of training possibly accomplish this goal? Now, when you divert 4% into these private accounts, we need to look at who will actually make money. The people that will actually make money are the people who are holding this money. These brokerage houses will make money on setup fees, maintenance fees, administrative fees, and on the transactions that take place in your account. And probably other fees that we just even don't know about. So it's really, really good. It's great for them, but there's no guarantee that you, the investor, will make any money at all. Now, another thing that people have not mentioned but is absolutely critical to this debate is the following. If you take 4% of the 6.2% workers' contribution and put it into a private account, that means that 32% of the money going to fund Social Security is simply not going to be there. And let me show you how I got to 32%. Remember, employees contribute 6.2% of wages. Employers contribute 6.2% of wages. That's 12.4% total. Now, if you take 4% of that away, simply to divide 4 by 12.4, and you come up with 32%. That means that 32% of the current funding is no longer going to be in the common pool of money, which is used to pay the current retirees' benefits. So the question is, how is Social Security going to pay the current retirees' benefits if 32% of its funding is no longer there? And the answer is they're going to have to borrow the money. Now, the analysts are saying that in the short run, we'll have to borrow between $1 and $10 trillion to put that into the Social Security Trust Fund to pay out the benefits. Now, this is just highly irresponsible. This $1 to $10 trillion, of course, will be put on our national debt. And this does nothing to solve the future solvency problem of Social Security. It really doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that the way to save Social Security is not by taking money out of it, but by adding money to it. And the solution is what we said in the very beginning part of this lecture, is simply to remove the cap. You remove the $106,800 cap, and Social Security revenues rise dramatically. That, in conjunction with a little benefit restraint applied to people who make over $75,000 per year, solves the problem. Now, I'd like to thank you for listening to this lecture. For complete details on how this tax reform plan will save our middle class, please go to the website www.SeriousTaxReform.com. I thank you for listening, and I look forward to speaking with you in the near future.